friends, welcome back to Adobe Live. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Cody and I will be your host for the next hour. If you've never watched Power Prompts, right here on this show, it is our goal to empower you to power through your art block. Every month we create a theme and every week we have a drawing prompt based around that theme. This month's theme is April showers and today's theme is spring flowers because we're about to hop into May, right? April showers bring spring flower, May flowers, spring flowers on here. Feel free to participate. If you would like to upload your work, you can do so to Instagram with hashtag Adobe Live Power Prompts. And later at the end of the show, we will be going over some of your amazing community entries that have already been submitted. We have been getting so many over the last week, just from like the last few prompts and also for this one. So we have quite a few to go through towards the end of the stream. But welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hey, Annika, RB, Katarina, Sam, Laura, Gareth. Oh, it's so good to see you all. Welcome, welcome. So if we want to hop on over, we can to our trusty handy dandy iPad. We are going to be working in Fresco today. We typically work in Fresco for Power Prompts. And also for if you guys have never seen this show, I typically have everyone vote on a specific thing, whether it be the color palette or the composition or anything like that. Today, since last week we did a sketch stream, I thought we would change it up and do a coloring stream today. So I have some color palettes that for you guys to choose from. If you want to start putting your votes in chat, just do 1, 2, or 3. The first one we have kind of like an alternative, like primary color palette. The second one is, funny enough, a little bit similar to the first one, but it's kind of like dark and moody primary palette. I didn't even notice I did that until like a few minutes before we went live. And then the third one is kind of like complementary colors. We have like some golds and then some like teals and blues. These won't be the only colors that will be in the palette because I typically can't really limit myself to only 4 colors. I usually have at least like 5 or 6-ish colors, especially since we're going to be working with flowers. There'll probably be more colors, but this will be like the base colors that will inform the other colors that we choose. CJ says vote 2 or 3, love both. Annika says 2, RB says 1. We got another vote for 3. Yeah, I'm feeling like, well, actually, I was going to tell my opinion, but I don't want to sway you guys. So Sam says, got to go with Moody, number 2. Gotcha. Yeah. It's funny because I actually have a hard time doing spring palettes. If you're at all familiar with my work, I typically use kind of like moody earth tones. So I have a tendency to kind of like bring even those moody fall earth tones into my spring palettes too. So I had to throw that one in there. All right, so we have a few votes for 2, which is actually surprising. I was thinking that nobody was going to vote for 2. Wow, Clever votes for 2 also. Richard votes for 3. It seems like the majority of you guys are looking for 2, so I'm actually kind of happy with that because I was thinking 2 was my favorite. So this is sweet. I'm gonna go with 2, you guys. All right, let's go ahead. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and just erase the rest of these guys, and then that way we can bring our palette onto our sketch here. So here's the little sketch we're gonna be working with. I'm going to bring this guy up. I can make it a little smaller here. Just stick it up in the corner. And so I have our little bear friend, and he's actually wearing cowboy boots. I don't know why I decided to give him cowboy boots, but do all 3. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's possible. Actually, you know what? Funny you say that. I'm going to go back a little bit because since 1 and 2 palettes are so similar, I might actually use 1 as highlight colors or like detail line colors. So I'm gonna save 1 and 2 so I can use some of those other colors for detail lines. So yeah, because they're so similar, it's basically kind of like light and dark versions of these colors. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to make these smaller, stick them up in the corner here, and these will kind of be our main colors. And have any of you guys in chat participated in this prompt or any of the other ones? I'd be really excited to see your entries on Instagram and stuff. I saw a lot of really cool ones At least the bear remembers. Oh, yeah. Forgot to water your plants. And he's got a little garden hat on and suspenders. Went all out with the outfit today. All right, you guys. Okay, so I'm sorry, you guys, if I seem a little out of breath. I had a medical procedure last week and I'm still healing from that. So I'm trying to not exert too much energy on stream today because I don't want to like seem so out of breath that you guys are like, what's wrong with Codi? What is happening? But I'm just going to get into coloring now. And let's see, I think I might, like, what color should we make his pants and his shirt? Like, what colors are going to go with like cohesive outfit colors? Like, should we just do like blue jean pants, or should we go crazy with some other color? Like, because if we go like with a different color for his pants, then like, I don't know, I guess we could, you know what we could do is just kind of like throw in one of these colors and see. Let's use like just like the hard round and whoops, there we go. And just like, whoops, nope, I didn't want to do that. Okay, let's make a new layer underneath the sketch and just kind of like throw in this color really fast. So we have like this red here. And I don't want to, if we do red, I don't want to do green pants because that's kind of Christmassy, right? But we could do like red shirt with like the brown pants. And then I was also thinking maybe this time, since I usually do brown bears, maybe we could do a blonde bear. Maybe blonde bear might be cute. Just something, change it up a little bit like that, maybe. And then like having some darker brown boots. And then like maybe like maybe like this yellow straw hat. And like with a green band, maybe something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm fond of green jeans. Oh, green jeans could work too. Let's copy this layer, duplicate layer, and let's do that. Let's do like, let's lock the transparency and let's do green pants. But maybe like, what if we did like a blue shirt? That could change things up. That like totally changes the mood of it. And then maybe like we could use the red as the boot color, and maybe to incorporate the red elsewhere, we could do like a red headband like that. Hey Dee, feel better soon, Codi. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Both work nicely. I know, right? I'm kind of like feeling undecisive. You know, I might, I'm thinking I might save the orange for maybe like the hyacinths over here. I think I might go with this one, you guys. I think Clever was onto something with those green pants. I think that works out nicely. And then maybe like, let's unlock transparency. Maybe we can use like this darker green for the foliage back here. And maybe like red tulips, or actually no, we want to stick with the moody colors, right? Right. And then the lighter colors will be for the accent colors. So like, what if we did like, we could do some gold pansies. And I actually, you know, I was thinking this earlier. I drew these pansies down here kind of small, and I might go back as we're doing the coloring and exaggerate the size, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a illustrative, cartoony look. And also just so they kind of stand out a little bit more. Pansies are quite small in person, but we could just like make them super big. Just to kind of give a little bit of a pop of color down there. My farming overalls are light blue, says Clever. Oh, that's so cute. Hi, Mallory. Oh, good to see you. Long time no see. It's so nice to see Codi using Fresco. This is Fresco. Every episode of my new Power Prompt show that we've been doing for the last couple months now has been in Fresco. Yeah, so it's really been a nice change of pace. Yeah, not Photoshop on the iPad. I've actually never drawn on Photoshop on the iPad. I don't know, maybe somebody in here that has more experience with Photoshop on the iPad could tell me. I actually don't even know if they have drawing tools on Photoshop. I've never used it. I've always only ever used like Photoshop desktop and then Fresco on the iPad. But anyway, okay, I'm going to keep this, I'm going to actually size this little color comp down just so we can keep an idea of what it looks like here in the corner up here. And I'm just gonna go for it. You know, actually most of the time when I plan my work, I don't do color comps. But since we're working with a palette that I've kind of never worked with, I thought that it might be nice to kind of just like figure it out with you guys. And I think that it was the right choice because Clever definitely put out that really great idea for the green pants. And I think that looks really good. Okay, let's see. I have a random mark here and I don't know where it came from. Oh, it's on the sketch layer. Why? Why are you there, random mark? Where did you come from? Okay. Okay. I don't necessarily like this color for the fur that I just grabbed from my palette. I think it looks a little bit anemic. So I might choose a different, I do like the blonde bear, but I might choose like maybe a little bit brighter. Maybe I might just take this color and saturate it a little bit. Okay, and then the coloring brush that I typically use is one of Kyle Webster's brushes. If you don't know how to download Kyle's brushes, you can just go to the brush menu, go to all, and then go down to the bottom and press the little plus button. And you can press discover new brushes and it will actually bring up this little menu that you can follow all of these brush folders and they will immediately be in Fresco for you. And you can also download them to Photoshop. They are also compatible with Photoshop and they are free with a CC sub. So I love Kyle's brushes, not just because they're free with a CC sub. I've actually been using his brushes for close to 10 years now. One of my favorite brushes that I use of his is called Conte Crayon, as Annika so lovingly likes to call it, Codi Crayon. Annika in chat, because I use it so much. Let's saturate this a little bit more here. And I'm going to make a new layer. And let's just go ahead and throw this color in here. And the great thing too about digital artwork is even if you throw in a color that you don't really like at a later time, you can always just lock the transparency and fix that later. So we don't even need to worry about it if we feel like it doesn't, and maybe it doesn't flow with the rest of the color palette. Once we get the rest of the colors in and we're like, oh, I don't really like that. Let's just try to experiment with some other colors. I do that all the time. I feel like 9 times out of 10, when I put a color down, it does not stay that color for long. I usually end up changing things up. Okay. Annika said, yes, Cody Cran. Yes, indeed. And I'm thinking about putting some more watercolor textures in here than I normally do. And I'm also thinking about experimenting with some different textures for like the soil and stuff. Because Kyle has a lot of really cool brushes. Actually, you know what? He just came out with the spring 2022 brush. Is it available yet? Spring 2020. He just had a brush hour about it. I wonder if, yeah, it's not here yet. I wonder if it's available in Photoshop and not in Fresco yet. But definitely check those ones out because there's some really cool brushes in there. But I am I'm thinking about like adding some, trying to add some different textures to the soil and also do some watercolor effects for the flowers themselves, just kind of like changing it up a little bit. Oh, Clever says that type of flower, and these can be big. I guess I'll call them violas. Oh yes, yes. So pansies are the bigger ones. The pansies can actually be quite big, and then violas are like the little baby ones. And they're also violas actually look very similar to violets too. Okay, let's put in his little paw here. And it's kind of looking like a Winnie the Pooh color, isn't it? I didn't intend on that. Okay, let's grab the blue color. And I am going to make a new layer, and then I'm going to grab it and then drag it down so we can create just a group for our colors. And we will throw in this color here. I'm really interested in experimenting with some different texture brushes for the soil. I've been noticing some artists doing like this technique recently where it actually looks totally stark, like realism paper cut artwork, but it was done digitally, and it's a specific technique. I don't know how people do it. I think it was a specific artist. I don't remember her name. She put out a tutorial for it, and I've seen it getting handed around in the illustration community recently, but I have not watched it myself, but I am very curious to check it out one day. If you go on Elena Comte, I've mentioned her. She was actually a guest on my Draw This in Your Style channel. She's been doing a lot of work with that technique. If you want to go on her Instagram, you can see examples of it. And she might even have a link to the original tutorial somewhere on there too. But it was so fascinating. I actually thought it was real paper cut. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Elena's doing paper cut now. And come to find out it's digital. I was like, what? All that to say, I'm going to maybe try to do some kind of flat textures, like rough textures, kind of make it look like it's maybe like textured paper or something like that, in my own way. Just doing some little experimenting today, changing it up, you guys. You know how it is. Clever says it's a sweet honey bear in honey color. Very true. Honey bear. I like that. My husband calls me honey bear sometimes. Hi, Steve. I don't think I said hi to you. Welcome. How are you doing? Also, by the way, if you guys were here just a little bit ago, Fabiola did an amazing premiere DCC. That was so cool. Great job, Fabiola, if you're still here. Really like that one. I think this might be Fabiola's first time doing a DCC too. Okay, we got his little shirt in. And I could also, if we could stick to this, this minimal palette, we could do the boots. It's kind of like almost like a burgundy brown. We can also use this burgundy brown, reddish brown for the soil as well. Just to try to stick to that minimal palette. It really helps if you guys are trying to figure out how to do a minimal palette. I use the same color for different things. Like instead of like going to pick like a separate brown for the soil, for instance, to stick with that minimal palette, I will use the color in my palette that I already have currently that is the most similar to the color that I'm looking for. Like for instance, I probably wouldn't have originally gone for like this reddish color for the soil, but since it's already there and I'm going to be using it, it's the closest color in my palette to a soil color. So that's the color that I'm going to use. So it kind of, and like once it's all said and done, once it all is a cohesive piece, your brain just kind of fills in the gaps. Like you don't look at it and think, oh, that's not the right brown for that soil. You just kind of like see it as a whole piece and it just works. And like I said, it also helps with the minimal palette because everything just ends up looking really cohesive. So it looks kind of more believable, I guess. So I'm going to make a new layer and I might just do the boots and the soil on one layer because why not? Hey, Wade, how are you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. Got a little cowboy boots. Cowboy boots are great for gardening, I guess. So says this bear. Or maybe it was one of those situations where he totally forgot to water his plants, and the cowboy boots were the shoes that were by the door, you know, and he's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just wear these. And then he waltzes out the door in those boots. You know how it happens where, you know, like somebody comes home with groceries and you like have to go out and help them bring groceries in, but like the only shoes at the door that are there for you to wear are like somebody else's shoes or like some like flip-flops or something like that. That was probably what this situation was. Steve said, yes, Fabiola is great, really thorough. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, going back to work. Okay, yes, so let's go ahead and add in the soil. I'm gonna do the base texture as as just our normal Conte crayon. But then I'm gonna find some other brushes to go over top of it. I'm gonna lock the transparency and we're going to kind of just like experiment with different textures. And I'm gonna go ahead and just paint right over the pansy sketch because like I said, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just like draw them differently and draw them bigger. So I'm not really gonna be super worried about it. And let's maybe make some just like little pieces of the soil that are kind of like coming off like that maybe. Oh, also you guys, since this is the last prompt in this list, you're probably wondering what our next prompt list is. We're going to be participating in Mermay. If you've never heard of Mermay, it's a pre-existing monthly challenge that is very prominent in the art community, illustration community, similar to that of Dogust, if you've ever heard of Dogust, or Inktober, Drawtober, one of those. Mermay, everyone draws a different mermaid every day of May. And typically how it works is that like the list will have like a theme, and then you draw the mermaid within that theme. Or it's like a theme of a scene with a mermaid, but every illustration that we do has a mermaid no matter what. And I think, let's see, I don't think I have that file on the iPad, or I would show you guys, but if you go on my Discord, I did post it there. And also I will probably be posting it on my Instagram sometime tomorrow, maybe. So I can get, so you guys can get a little bit of a head start on that. But we will not be doing, of course, every day of May, because I just cannot do that. And also we only stream Power Prompts once a week here. So we will be doing just like normal every Monday, but we actually have 5 Mondays in May. So we'll be doing 5 different prompts for Mermaid. I'm a little nervous, to be honest, because I've never drawn a mermaid before. So this is going to be a brand new thing, new subject matter for me. So I don't draw humans very often. So it's going to be a little bit different for me. We shall see how it goes. And even if it doesn't go well, that is, you know, like, that's totally fine. Like, it's just going to be an experiment nonetheless, right? Okay, so we have the little soil mounds in here for our little garden. Looks good. I think I might, let's go ahead and go into some of these texture brushes. Let's look at the Keith Haring. The Keith Haring brushes are pretty cool. We do have like a chalk on a chalkboard. I really love this one, especially if you use like an actual chalkboard color, like a chalkboard board color, because it just has like a really nice, like a blackboard look to it. It just like looks really beautiful. And I kind of really like that for soil, because it kind of looks like it has like the little pieces in it. And it kind of just gives it a little bit of a speckled look. Could go with that and maybe just lighten this color a tad. And let's lock the transparency. And also, let's see, another really great one from this pack is Vinyl Scraper. I used Vinyl Scraper when we did a while back. Actually, it was mine and Annika's stream when we did the hockey player. I did the hockey player. I used the Vinyl Scraper for that illustration for the ice, and it was like just like one swipe, perfect ice texture. If you guys are looking for like doing an ice rink or something like that, oh my gosh, this one was so great. I can show you guys here. Let me make a new layer so you guys can see what this texture looks like. It's really nice. We'll give a little bit of some texture to these boots too, because why not? And don't forget to save your work. If anyone's working on anything, don't forget to save. Always a good idea. Okay. And I think I might add in, let's go for like a speckle brush. I think I have one in my favorites here. Let's see. Well, yeah, we have Kyle's splatter brushes are really good. Spatter brushes. Dots 1 is one of my favorites, and also Dusty Bits is a really good one too. I think I might use dots. Let's throw in, like, let's like lighten it. No, not that. That's a little gray. Maybe a little bit lighter than that. I don't want to desaturate it too much. Although maybe I'll just use the background color because that, oh yeah, let's just use the background color because that works a lot of the time. Yeah, that looks cute, right? It looks like, what is it called? Is it perlite? I think perlite is the white little pieces that are in soils, like potting soil. It also kind of looks like powdered sugar on a chocolate cookie or something. Okay. Let's grab this lighter color, I think. And I am going to maybe move the hue over a little bit. I'm going to make a new layer over top of everything. And this is going to be like, kind of like our, like detail layer. Just add in these little cowboy boot details. Don't take the chat there. Trust me, I want some cookies too. Okay. I think what I want to do now is I kind of want to, let's bring the opacity back up on the soil here. And then let's take this red color again, just so we can have a starting point. This is kind of what I do when I'm picking colors. But I want it to be a little bit different, but within the same kind of color family, because I want to be able to add a color to this palette. But I'm just gonna like change the hue a little bit. I might bring it over here, maybe. Let's see what that looks like. Just for like the tulips, and just kind of changing up the texture. We're going to use this awesome brush by Kyle Webster. It's one of his watercolor brushes that you can get in his watercolor pack. It is called Natural Edge Painter 1. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. But this brush is really cool because it actually, you know what? This brush might be better suited for the hyacinths. And I think that's the case because it's kind of hard to get in small sections. And I want my tulips to kind of have like those points, those classic points. So I think actually this brush might be better suited for more of like this bulbous flower that kind of just like has a bunch of different blooms on it, like this. And I can just go back and erase the soil behind it too. So we don't have to worry about that. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to kind of like go in and paint just like indications of individual flowers here on the hyacinth. Something like that. And let's go unlock the transparency for the soil, and I will just go in and erase it back. Oh, and also fun tip. I actually learned this tip on stream. If you, oh, actually, let me redo that because I don't have the right brush equipped. Here we go. If you actually tap this little circle here, I don't remember what it's called actually. If anyone in chat knows what this is called, please feel free to put it in chat so I can remember what it's called. But if you just tap it once, you can actually erase with your brush. Before I was going the long way and going in this menu and going to clear mode. But I found out that you don't have to do that because of some awesome viewers in chat told me that I did not have to do that. CJ says it's called a little circly doodad TM. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly how I would refer to it as. Touch modifier. Yes, Gareth, thank you. That is what it's called. Touch modifier. Okay, yes. So if you touch the modifier, you can erase with your current brush, which is super helpful. That's what TM stands for. Yes, yes, exactly. That is totally what your plan was. Okay, there we go. Now we have some little hyacinth friends there, and I'm going to go ahead and lighten this color. Maybe not desaturate it so much, but I'm going to lighten it, and we're going to go back up to our outline layer. And actually, I'm going to lighten it a little bit more. We need some more contrast. And I'm going to come in here and just add in some little indications of flowers, because hyacinths are like long, like I said, like bulbous flowers, but they have like a bunch of little blooms on that one stalk, and it kind of has like a cylindrical shape. I might even lighten these a bit more. I feel like we need a little bit more contrast. And let's go ahead and lock the transparency. Again, being able to go back and change that color is really helpful. You know what? Maybe I don't want, I feel like that's a little bit too busy. Maybe I'll take this color and darken it instead of lightening it. Let's see what that looks like. I think that looks a little bit better. It's not so busy. Okay. Just throw in those little outlines in there like that. And I think I might make, since the pants are going to be green, I don't want to add too much green around that area because we want to keep that silhouette strong. So I think I might make the pansies maybe like this yellow color here. But again, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Yeah, that's, oh, this layer. Is that an empty layer? It is. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and make our pansies a little bit bigger. I'm gonna exaggerate this size here a little bit, just so they kind of stand out a little bit more. I had 3, so let's go ahead. I have 1, 2, and then I had another one that was kind of like angled to the side like this. Grape hyacinth flowers look like grapes. They do kind of look like grapes. That's funny. Okay. Let's see. So we might need these to be a little bit lighter because we're kind of running into a contrast issue with the soil. So let's lock that transparency again. I'm going to grab the hard round brush and just lighten these guys on up. That's a little bit better. And I might saturate it a little bit more too. A great easy way to check your contrast levels too is to make a layer over top of everything. And just to make it easy on myself, I like to keep pure black in my palette. for times such as these. So I grab pure black, and then we're going to grab the paint bucket tool, and we're going to fill pixel layer. I'm not going to worry about the color palette up there because it's not a part of our final illustration. But if we go over here to the three line menu, like the little slider menu, and go down to blend mode and change this blend mode to color, we can actually see our image in black and white and see what our contrast looks like for everything. And since I don't use a lot of outlines for my work, I typically try to have really good contrast from shape to shape, just with the base color. So we have pretty good contrast with the pansies. I might lighten them just a little bit more just for personal preference. Let's see here, just a tad more. Oh, wrong layer. It's funny because now we're actually getting into the realm of this color, this yellow color up at the top there. So I don't want to do that. Not too much. Okay. And then since this, again, the soil color that we used and his boot color is the darkest color in the image, or actually now the purple, the hyacinth purple might be the darkest color in the image. So let's actually use this purple color because pansies usually have like a black center, or at least some of the colors do, for all of the petals. I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to make a clipping mask, and oops, let's grab the correct brush here. So a lot of the time they'll have like pieces of their petals will kind of like have this like little burst of color coming from the center, and a lot of the time it is black, like this. And then they also typically have this honey color that we have going for the fur is looking a little anemic again. I feel like I need to saturate it a little bit more, but we're going to take that color for now anyways. And I think we're going to move it over, the hue slider over to orange just slightly. And they also have this little like center point here that is kind of like a really bright yellow, like that. And then also, since these petals here on the back are actually separate, I'm going to take the background color and just separate them like this and kind of create an outline like that, just for the sake of separation there. It looks like a dragon sticking his tongue out. That would be a snapdragon. But yes, kind of does. Okay. Let's go ahead and maybe we'll separate those two as well. And this one here. I love snapdragons. Yeah, snapdragons are really cool. Okay. I don't know why, but I've kind of always struggled drawing pansies, even though they seem relatively simple. But I have always struggled drawing them for some reason. I'm gonna bring back this black just a little bit. It's kind of encroaching a little bit too much on the edge of the petal there. That looks pretty cute. Hey Mo, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Let's see. Okay. I want to throw in the green for the pants here. Let's put in a layer underneath the shirt. I'm also going to grab this color that we just put on the pansies. I'm going to desaturate it a little bit. I think this color might be a little bit better just for my own personal eye. For the fur color, that looks a little bit better. Just with where we're kind of aiming with the color palette, it looks like this color, like I said, it looks a little less anemic, like the bear's got more vibrancy to the fur color. So let's grab this green again, and I'm gonna grab the Conte crayon brush again, and we're gonna draw in his little pants here. So he's in this kneeling position. So we have a leg in the front and a leg in the back. And I might make the leg in the back just slightly darker. Let's see. So we can have a little bit of a differentiation there. Have any of you had any like crazy storms or anything recently for spring? We've had a few thunderstorms here in Nashville, Tennessee. I think it's actually supposed to thunderstorm tonight as well. But it's just like, it's been really nice lately having so much greenery everywhere again. Especially because we moved here during winter time, so everything was dead. So it's kind of like nice to like see everything for the first time, having life brought back into it again in the springtime. Okay, so let's use this color. I'm going to saturate it a little bit and just darken it a little bit. And we're going to make a new layer behind the original pants layer. And we're going to use that for his other leg here. So we don't have to do a traditional outline. We will just do this separation of color. Green jeans, woohoo! I kind of almost misread that as green beans. That should be like a jean company that they only make green jeans. green bean jeans. Green bean jeans. I can see it now. They just have like a little green bean as their logo, and it's like a badge logo, and it's like green bean jeans since 1806. Yes, as we speak. Are you having a thunderstorm, Annika? Okay, so I'm gonna make a new layer. I'm gonna make a clipping mask over top of that shirt layer, and I'm gonna grab this blue. It might be a little bit too bright for the stripes, but I'm gonna try it. let's just see how it works out. And you know, who knows, maybe it'll be cute. I'm feeling like it's going to be a little bit too saturated, but we can figure that out if it doesn't work. And we can always, like I said, since we're doing it on a separate layer, we can always go back and change it through block transparency. It's always good to be willing to experiment with color, because like, not even just for your art's sake, but for your own sake, because for me, like, just speaking from personal experience, like sometimes I'll get stuck in my comfort zone and I won't want to venture outside of that. And then that comfort zone actually ends up getting a little bit stale for me, just working with it. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I know I love these colors, but like, there's got to be other colors out there too, you know? And this kind of experimentation is kind of where you find those new color combinations that you didn't even know that you would love. Like last fall, for instance, I changed up my palette and I started adding like cool tones for fall, which is totally different for me. Like I started adding like dark teal and mint, like a sage color to my palette. And I kind of mixed that in with my typical like browns and golds and oranges. And I actually ended up really liking it. And so now I use those colors throughout my rest of my artwork. But yeah, if I hadn't been willing to kind of just like change it up and experiment, I would have never figured that out for myself. Okay, so let's see here. I do want, I do need to do the muzzle. So let's just go ahead and like lighten up this color. Oh, and actually it is, I didn't even realize what time it was. It is about time to look at community entries. Springtime Toronto rain, says Steve. Massive amounts of rain. Oh man. Yeah, we have like a big creek behind our apartment too. So whenever it rains, it's like river runoff. So it like goes crazy. It goes from like a super silent creek to being like raging rapids. But okay, so you guys, that is the end of the drawing segment for today. Actually, let's pull up the opacity on this shirt just to see what it looks like. Yeah, the stripes are a little bit saturated for this, but you know, it might look good if it was opposite, like maybe the bright blue with the toned down blue stripes, maybe. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out. But we're gonna head over to Instagram so we can look at some community entries today. We got quite a few really nice ones. This one I wanted to really show off from Katie. She does a lot of really incredible little paperwork pieces. As you can see, there's like watercolor textures on these, and they're hand cut out. They're so beautiful. And it's just like a little flower mart, country flower mart, and it's just so beautiful with the little bunting flags and the little bunny character. Oh, it's so lovely. Please go check out her work. I think she's done quite a few of our like draw this in your styles as well. So yeah, please go check out her work. Very, very beautiful. And then this one, we got a lot of like patterns and stuff, which was a lot of fun. I loved seeing these in the hashtag. Really, really unique flower shapes here. Like I personally really struggle drawing flowers, so I have a lot of appreciation for artists that put so much effort into doing like flowers in different angles and perspectives. And this one is just like so beautiful. Also, the colors were really wonderful. Like I love that like pop of turquoise in there along with all of the other muted colors. It's really beautiful. And also there's a pop of orange too there at the bottom. That's really nice. Great job, Lilacs and Sage. They had a lot of really great work on their profile as well. Oh, and here is Elena Comte. I mentioned her earlier. She did a little pattern as well. This looks like might be like snowdrops. Really, really cute. Love Elena's textures as well. Cody's in Memphis now. I'm actually in Nashville. Memphis is a little bit, I think, west, or is it east? I don't know. Nashville is right in the middle of Tennessee. This one I really loved. The moody colors on this one, like so pretty. I could absolutely see this as like a fabric design. This looks like it would be some fancy like silk fabric that would be upholstered on a really fancy opulent chair or something. It's so beautiful and so moody. I love it so much. Kaylee Corbett, she's got a lot of really beautiful work as well. Love these colors. Love these moody colors. And then this one was a really beautiful one as well. This is, again, not the first Power Prompts one that they've done. And they add their little their little personal character in there. I don't know what he is. He's like clearly a made up character, but he's so beautiful, and the colors and the atmosphere and everything are wonderful. But I have to go, you guys. I'm sorry I lost track of time, but thank you all so much for watching, and we will be back next week with Mermay. I hope you all have a wonderful day. See you later. Bye.